Hey everyone, this is Antiledo, and today we'll talk about horizontal boom and zoom. Now I'm sure you've heard about the boom and zoom style before, whereby you engage in a series of vertical diving attacks, deliver gunfire to your enemies, and then return in a vertical disengagement in order to retain energy and be able to use your altitude advantage to deliver successive attacks on your enemies. The horizontal style seeks to maximize your straight line speed. Instead of disengaging in a vertical, you're using your high speed to disengage in a straight line to reset the engagement and deliver another firing pass. Now the horizontal style works most effectively when your enemies line themselves up in a furball. And what that basically means is a large amount of planes in a small area, typically all trying to turn fight. That sets you up pretty well for horizontal engagement, which is superior to a vertical engagement in this particular case, because you can get better gunfire in the horizontal plane as opposed to the vertical. So if we take a look at the action here, we see a nice furball develop behind us. Almost the entire enemy team is in one central area. There's two small zones of engagement here where everyone is essentially turning on each other. There's very few opponents that are high. In fact, there's probably no one at the high altitude in this area. So you can see as you run through this furball, you get multiple opportunities to engage multiple bandits. You can see you can get gunfire on more than one target, whereas in a vertical style, you would only get gunfire on one target. As you complete your pass, you would pull off and have to reset. But here I'm able to swoop horizontally in and out, engaging multiple targets, dealing damage, and getting kills. The furball pretty much hasn't moved at this point. It's essentially stationary. I do pick up a tail at this point, but since I'm flying much faster than him, he disengages. And again, you see the horizontal style means I'm not climbing. Well, here I am climbing a little bit, but essentially you're not climbing in order to reset the engagement, you're moving horizontally. I've cleared the furball once again, and I'm going to turn around, and they're still dancing in a circle there. Still have a great opportunity to deliver damage and get kills. So if I was flying vertically at this point, I'd be wasting a lot of time resetting my altitude, climbing, slowing down, and trying to swoop in. But in this case, I'm able to fly in a horizontal orientation and keep my guns active. As the game moves into the later stages, the horizontal style begins to break down, only in the sense that the furball will diminish as the amount of opponents diminishes as well. In this case now the furball is pretty much gone, so you can switch back to a vertical style. There's nothing saying you can't switch between vertical and horizontal boom and zoom in any particular match, and in fact you will have to switch as the situation dictates. So at this point I am staying low and not going vertical, trying to finish off that last ME-262. But as you can see now, with few opponents left, I pretty much have tails on me, and there's no furball for me to engage in with horizontal style. So after taking down that last bandit and achieving separation, I will then proceed to move into the vertical. So while this match showcased a lot of horizontal boom and zoom, you get a good example of a switch to the vertical style. Once I clear this mountain, I will then pitch up and start to climb. Take a few steps forward in time here because there's just a lot of climbing. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but you can see that while that furball existed and maintained a horizontal style, I was able to shoot at multiple targets during each pass and ended up with a grand total of 5 kills through that early session. And then once that furball degrades, whether it's late game or everyone spreads out, you can climb, get your elevation, switch to a vertical style. And as this match comes to a close, I've regained the altitude advantage thanks to the supremacy advantage, forcing my enemies onto the deck, and it's pretty much standard boom and zoom from this point. At the very beginning of the video, you saw me using a vertical style to take out a Corsair, and then switching to a horizontal style as I realized I picked up lots of tails and retreat back to base, and then utilize the horizontal style for the majority of the match. Hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. and have fun flying.